They seem to have very varying amounts of disagreement about where Pathfinder Society began, but I subscribe to a third theory that they just met wherever they could.
Hmm.
And on behalf of Venture Captain Hamshanks, we are investigating the last known now of our local heroic elite here in Taldor.
Aye, and who's that?
And as I was typing my notes, I couldn't type down the name fast enough of the group.
The Golden Watch?
Cool.
He's like, oh, the Golden Watch, those old timers. Yeah, you'll find them farting around in that fancy-ass tavern up on the highway. I think they call it the Sword Point. You'll find it in roughly this location.
Sounds simple enough. Nolan, how about we get going before we die of old age from all this talking?
I understood that joke.
You say that like telling tales is a bad thing.
Well, we've got significantly
I like how the
longer
three
to
of you are
live.
walking off at the beginning of this adventure as friends. Everyone's like, don't worry, you're not the guy who writes stuff. I'm going to help you get stronger. I can't wait till the end of it.
Well, we jest because we have longer to live.
Of course.
You, on the other hand, do not. You have but a scant few decades. Best to use every moment wisely.
Exactly.
Are you explaining this to him as you walk him over?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I'm aware. I must find myself I must make full advantage of my time, so that there might be a Frederick William Mayfield the 15th someday to carry on my legacy.
No, let's not get carried away. I didn't say anything about that.
Well, that's of course a good thing as well, but as long as you raise them up good and strong, you know. Storytelling's good, but you know, a bunch of goblins ambushes you. I don't think they're gonna listen. Good to know how to fight.
How to fight duels here in Talbot, obviously. You know, you raise your white glove and you slap the opponent across the face with it. And then...
Wouldn't recommend that with a goblin. Did that once with a male glove, though. That was hilarious. But
Magic missile is cranium. Best solution.
well, that works too. But yeah, no, I'm afraid that once you get right down to it, the bad guys don't really fight fair.
Oh, that is
Sorry, F-14.
very uncivilized of them.
Oh yeah, tell me
Well,
about
maybe
it.
if we get very lucky, we'll find some civilized enemies for you to fight.
Hmm.
Yeah, if we'll keep a lookout.
I assume we're having this conversation as we're making our way to Sword Point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We're doing the standard West Wing walk and talk.
Yeah.
Man, that show was amazing, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. I have the just to brag, I have the box set that actually is a folder that looks like the big purple binder thingy from the show with all the files. It's awesome. I love that show. Anywho.
Nice.
Aaron Sorkin is a master of battle.
Surprise essay exam.
All right. Your summons brings you to the Sword Point, a pricey inn in the old Casimir district. Waiting there are two older humans, a caramel-skinned man with strong hands and a pale, thin woman with neatly piled platinum hair. After a long, asserting stare, the elderly woman speaks. We're grateful that you came. This is my husband and longtime comrade. Ferris Crandall. We called him Igneous in our day, and I'm Brenda Tools. The two of us were once adventurers like you, and we, along with a few friends, shared adventures and had more than our share of excitement in our youth. She looks to her companion, who sits up to take a sip of ale, wiping his gray mustache on an embroidered cloth. He says in a weathered voice, Every year around this time, the remaining four of us gather together in this city to remember our fallen friend, Roma Bisel, and to lend our experience to a cause worth fighting for. We can still face bullies and brigands and such, but my hammer gets heavier every time I lift it. I've meant for each of our last 3 ventures to be the end, but Branda and I still travel here every year to meet up with Dern Farsamuth and Tarragon Flynn, and to share a few stories with younger travelers like yourselves. He pauses for a long second before he continues. Worry hangs heavy in the air as he clears his throat. Our 2 friends have not made their appearance yet this year. We've learned that one, Dern Farsamuth, is laid up in a place called Mother's Care Home for Invalids, in the nearby Hope's Hollow. The other one is more curious. Tarragon Flynn is half-elf, so he's a bit more active and nimble than the rest of us. He never really took to retirement, so this gathering started as his idea. It worries us that he hasn't shown, especially since we made our share of enemies over the years. We think it's best that we stay here should Tarragon arrive, but we'd like to ask you to check his home for us just in case. Bring word back of Dern as well. Branda takes over from there. We've been talking about mentoring a few young pioneers, maybe even handing down a few secrets, but we never quite explored. We'd be willing to lend you our company and more if you'd be good enough to check in on our 2 friends. If they need help, we'd rather someone younger and more up to the challenge discover them. Once we know that they're safe, we'll look in on them ourselves.
Knowledge sounds
look
good.
over the table at you and, your Pathfinder letter.
Sounds reasonable enough, I suppose.
Knowledge sounds good.
Traveling to a retirement home sounds not so dangerous for you, but we will certainly be, I'm sure, keen to find your missing friend Tarragon.
I wonder what retirement homes in Taldor are usually like.
Oh, they're very wonderful places. Absolutely fantastic. We do the best that we can in order to keep our old folks well maintained. Brandon and I have been considering getting some care along those lines ourselves. And she kind of swats at him. She's like, "You old fool, we're never going into there. Just ridiculous. We have servants for that stuff." Now, I understand you need some of our secrets or reports of adventures, but perhaps instead you could write the adventure of how you helped us out. I realize it might not be that glamorous, but, in exchange for your services, we'd be willing to aid you. Perhaps join your adventuring band, become Pathfinder Society members ourselves. That'd be worth quite a lot to the society, don't you think?
I
look at my companions.
I actually turned to Eladamari and say, and sort of try to whisper as best I can. Do your Pathfinders often take geriatrics into their ranks?
Well, I whisper back. Well, he looks in better condition than some other people around here, so still looks strong. Besides, they can trade the new ones.
Splendid. Then this sounds like a perfect mission for all parties.
Well, I'm glad that you all agree there. Now, you'll find Flynn's townhouse in the northern Three Gates area. Here's the directions. Now, if you need to get to Hope's Hollow, it's only an hour's ride along the eastern road through the Blackwood Swamp. I suggest you check in on Tarragon Flynn first. He's quite close.
All right, Tarragon it is.
Yeah, and Hope's Hollow.
Hope's Hollow.
Could you give us directions to there before we set out for Flynn?
Yeah, he writes them down for you.
Oh, thanks. One trip better. Easier. Now. So, quick question. I currently have some acid burns on my face. How do I fix that? Is that are we talking?
Excellent question. There is a move called Recover. When you do nothing but rest in comfort and safety after a day, you recover all your hit points. After 3 days of rest, you can remove one ability of your choice. There's also the Make Camp move. When you settle in to rest, consume a ration. If you're somewhere dangerous, decide the watch order as well. If you have enough XP, you can level up. When you wake from a few uninterrupted hours of sleep, you heal damage equal to half your max hit points. You can pick one or more of those moves.
Well, it's only a little bit of damage now, and I'm going to see Flint in town. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? I'm fine.
So, before you guys get up, Branda Tolles grabs your sleeve, Frederick William Mayfield the 14th, and she says, "Now, I recognize the embroidery on your outfit. You're one of the Mayfields, from the Opera Mayfields.
The Opera Mayfields.
Now, we're the kind of folk that respect the custom of hospitality to minstrels. If you need a place to stay, we can provide a residence for you."
Well, I think that most gracious. Now, like, would you be amenable to extending your very courteous offer to them as well as?
She looks to each of them, one of whom's wearing a strange robe covered in runes, carrying a weird knife, and to the other one who's got a spear covered in blood with sharp serrated edges.
Oh, the knife's away by now. I'm just glancing at my book.
She's like, "Well, I suppose if you super promise, it sounds like you're trying to parlay."
Sure.
Are we
I'm
allowed
not familiar with the
to...
parlay move.
So the leverage you have is that you have to be given respectful hospitality,
Right.
which allows you to initiate this. The leverage that they want is they want to be known as people who, would take in such a bard.
Can we promise to be good and give him some kind of bonus?
You can attempt to aid, yes. When you want to aid with somebody or interfere with them, you roll plus the number of bonds you have with them.
So, 2d6 plus 0? Or 2d6
You have
plus
some
1?
bonds with him.
I do have a bond with him.
I do.
So, it'd be 2d6 plus 1?
Sure.
Okay. I'll tell him. I'll be on my.
Now remember,
best
Dan,
behavior.
to make a move, you have to make the move. So what's the move you're making to make this move?
Oh, I promise. We are perfectly civilized folk. Current appearance notwithstanding.
Ship got attacked by goblins. We had to get rid of them. We had to take care of them, or they'd kill the crew of the ship. Sorry about our appearance. I'm usually a little bit more refined than this.
Okay, it sounds like you've both made the aid move. Go ahead and roll them.
12.
Okay. El Damri.
Oh,
Would you
wait,
like to
that
give
should
a
be
plus
a-
1 or a minus 2?
That would be a 6. That would be a 6, actually. I forgot to add my charisma. I don't think that helps, but...
Oh yeah, is aid that'll be minus charisma plus, so yeah, it turns out to be 11. I'll give him a plus 1 rather than
No,
a
with
minus
aid you
2.
just roll plus bonds.
Oh,
Plus
just
nothing
plus
else.
bonds. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Okay. I get a 12, and I'll give him a plus 1 because
Okay.
I'd rather not give him a minus 2 because I want somewhere to sleep, except outside.
Okay. So Dan, you've opened up a new mechanic. When you fail at a roll, which is to roll a 6 minus, you get an experience point. So mark that down.
Oh,
You level up when you have a number of experience points equal to 1 plus your current level. 7 plus your current level, sorry.
so 8.
Yep. And now I get to make a move because I'm the GM and you failed.
Oh, dear.
So, I will make the move after I see what happens with Frederick William Mayfield the 14th.
So
Because I feel
I'm
like
rolling.
the fiction could change depending on how your roll goes.
charisma +1 from
Yes.
Eladamari's bonus.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay. So
Wow.
she says, of course I could let you and your fighter friends stay at our townhouse here in Casimir. Perhaps your wizard friend would feel better staying at the guest house outside the townhouse. It's more of a shed or a shack, but I'm sure he'd be very comfortable there. We've got a number of reagents like fertilizer, farm equipment.
Enkaresh, how would you feel about that? It sounds like they're offering you private accommodations for your researches and potion making and so forth.
Yeah, just making sure you don't blow this big house up.
She goes even paler than she already is, and then Vernon like grips the table. He's like, "Oh, it would be real bad if we came back and found out our house is blown up."
I'm only kidding. He don't do that much.
If you would stop
Much.
speaking for me. There are pros and cons to this. I suppose I can make do.
It's decided then. Your hospitality is to be absolutely commended and will be noted when we make our report to the Pathfinder
Excellent.
Society.
We like to be known as people of our word, ones who would be kind of traveling minstrels. Here's a key to the private townhouse we have, and here's the smaller, less opulent key to the shithouse. I mean, the shack out back.
Hey,
At least I
another
won't at least
quick
I won't
question.
have to hear FWM talk.
Ha! Salt.
Say, Arthur. Should is my mic working?
Yep.
Okay. So should I close Twitch because I see you've got a map open?
Yeah. So what you can do is you can go to twitch.tv/APGamingREAL/chat. If you would like to, keep an eye on what the viewers are saying without actually
Yeah, I have it
seeing
here.
anything.
I have it here
Yeah.
on my phone.
/chat. Excellent.
I know. So cool, right?
That is cool.
And cool and simple. Okay.
Lucky.
Okay. Well, thank you kindly for. I'm starting to get a southern
you're
accent.
starting to
ain't
sound
I?
like them.
It's starting to sound like them.
They're rubbing off on you, infecting your brain.
Affecting my brain. I can't seem to have their accent on me. It's rubbing off. I can't do anything about it.
What time of day is it?
What time of day do you think it is?
I think we arrived overnight on the ship, so it's fairly
Okay.
early to mid-morning.
The sun is just over the horizon, and there's pink sky to the east.
Sounds like we have plenty of time today. Excuse me. It looks like we have plenty of time today to still at least go track down Flynn, if not the retirement home.
See, that's what I keep telling you. Do a little bit more running, more exercise. We'll have time enough to do both. But anyway, not that I want to keep knocking you and give you another friendly punch in the shoulder. We're gonna toughen you up.
Going to bump you up.
I get the feeling that we should be playing Mulan's Be a Man.
Let's get down to business.
To defeat the
Huns.
I'm telling you, man, we got to do the AP Gaming Real Barbershop
Acapella
Quartet
group.
acapella
Yes.
group.
I'm all for this. I've been.
We'll do 80s songs and Disney songs, and that's it. That's our whole repertoire.
Hang on,
I
I'm
demand
gonna
we
go-
put some Supertramp into the lineup.
I'm gonna
Only
go
if
put.
we can do Super Freak.
Yes, yes, we can do Super Freak.
Like
I
an
am going to
acoustic.
go. Acoustic.
He's a
Yeah.
super freak, super freak.
No, even slower than that, like a lounge version of it.
By the way, the best way if you go and watch Night Witches, just put Highway to the Danger Zone on repeat. I did that literally for like part of when we were playing every night mission. Just goes perfectly.
I had some pretty good suggested songs to fill in there. Just saying.
That would have been very interesting because the night missions I thought were the least interesting part of the
I agree.
campaign. The drama was all in the daytime.
Yeah.
All right.
Focus isn't the combat. Anyway, so we're going to check on the half elf first, right?
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
closer.
He's in the city, right? Whereas the other
Yep.
we have to travel out of the city.
Okay.
It's like, right?
Located on the northeast side of Casimir, Terrigan Flynn's townhouse appears to be worthy of a lifelong adventurer. Large, clear windows overlook manicured bushes, presenting a posh face on the front drive. A small building holding a servant's quarters sits on the north side of the property. The townhouse's second floor is constructed of wood and has many windows. The building's southern wing appears to house a laboratory of some kind. The house is as quiet as the neighborhood surrounding it. What do you do?
Does it have any open windows or any kind of illumination to indicate anyone's at home?
I'm gonna walk up to the front door and knock before
Yeah,
you go sneaking in through
so-
any windows.
Like civilized folk.
Walk
I
up
wasn't
the
planning to
front door and
sneak
knock.
into a window. I was just looking to see if anyone was home by looking through the window.
Oh, Stephen Tom style. Oh,
So
okay. Then.
you want to look in through the window while he's knocking?
No, I mean, I just, as we were walking up, I wanted to see if the lights were on, basically.
I see. Would you say you're closely studying the situation?
I guess I was trying to discern realities,
That
or...
does sound like something you're trying to do. Why don't you go ahead and roll plus wisdom?
Oh, righty. Well,
Excellent.
that's a...
That's an XP.
That's
Woohoo.
Yeah, roll that. Yeah. So that's something we should all remind everyone to do every time that happens. Mark XP.
I
Yeah.
did.
XP for failing. But something
That's
bad
a
happens.
Really
That's
interesting mechanic. Learn through
Yeah.
your mistakes.
yeah. Something bad happens and you learn from it. It's cool.
Just hope you don't die in the process.
Yeah. So, you're walking forward, and you hear a faint thumping noise coming from the second floor. As you knock, you hear basically like a knock coming from the second floor, knocking back.
Ooh, what was that?
Do either of us hear this?
Yep.
Or is it just him?
Yep, you hear it.
Shave and a haircut. Does it knock back 2 bits?
No.
Oh. What does
I
it
try
knock
knocking.
back?
I try knocking again. It's,
Okay, nothing happens.
I get the distinct feeling something may have something is inside and something is not quite right. Something in my gut is telling me that. Perhaps we should proceed with caution, guys.
If their friend is local, you'd think it would be easy for him to have made the meeting, so...
But it sounds like, I mean, sure, he's a half-elf, so don't suppose this is some sort of age-related problem, but, somebody may have broken into his house. He's a rich guy. It's a nice house. Maybe he's in trouble up there. I don't know anything. I suggest we go in there and find out.
I will reach for the doorknob.
Okay. The door is closed, but unlocked.
We crack the door
Okay.
and call in, Mr. Flynn, Mr. Flynn, are you home?
Okay.
Hey.
You have no answer from it. From the cracked door, you see dust in the sunlight beam, and on the far side of that dust is a very expensive-looking foyer with painted wooden doors and very fancy furniture of Kionan style. Naturally shaped wood by elven wood singers.
Have we gone in, or are we looking through the window?
Just you're looking in through the slightly open door.
The door's open.
It is
Hey,
now.
Flynn. Hey, Flynn. Your friends. The aged couple whose name escapes me at the moment because I forgot to write their names down sent us.
I feel like that's something you should probably get
Write
from your
down.
friends.
Yeah. I'm gonna, damn it.
Keep
guys,
it in character and method, though, but you could be like the old people whose name I don't remember. Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, what were their names again? Did none of us write their name down?
It sounds like something you could spout lore on.
Spout lore?
The only-
All right.
Name I wrote down was tagging Flynn.
In fact, you know what, Thor? Why don't you make a spout lore roll on it? Because that's exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to remember.
What's that? What stat is that?
It's int.
So that's a 6.
Okay, mark XP.
Getting a lot of XP from int rolls, I guess.
Yeah, you try to recall what exactly their names were. But as you do, the hair on the back of your neck starts standing up, and you get the feeling that someone or something is currently watching you.
And Crash, is that you? With your magic.
I'm not doing this. Is
I
it
am-
dark inside?
Actively watching him.
It is dark but lit because they have vast bay windows that open in. So it's shadowy inside.
I'm gonna
Casting lights would probably be a good idea.
Okay. You want to roll the cast a spell move?
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's a 10.
Okay, you cast the shit out of it.
I'm gonna
does
look
your
around
light-
the street. Sorry.
Yeah. How does your light manifest? It's as bright as a torch. What color is it? Where are you putting it? Because you have complete control over it. You don't have to put it on something. It can just be a floating flame.
White on my forehead. One sec.
Okay. You're going with the what was that song about? The show about dragon riders.
Dragon
Aragon.
Riders?
You're going with the Aragon. Brisringer. Okay, yeah. So with the white flame on his forehead, Inkirash looks into the room. You see 2 very plush chairs on the far side of the foyer, and to your left, which is to the north, there's a nice desk that's been wood-shaped into, curving, elegant, rounded lines. There's doors to the north, east, and south side of this complex inside. You
Thinking
don't see the
more,
stairs to the second floor.
thinking more about Terrigan Flynn for a moment, and thinking back to tales my father told me of his, or tales my father wrote of his adventures.
I see.
I would like to invoke my bardic lore about legends of heroes of the past.
Amazing.
What was he particularly famous for?
Let's see. When you first encounter an important location covered by your bardic lore, you can ask me one question about it. Okay. You're asking what Terrigan Flynn was famous for. You remember sitting down with your father. And your father appears to be much like you, but taller and broader and more military-based. And he says, "Son, Frederick William Mayfield the 14th, you come in this room right now.
Yes, father.
I have a lesson for you today." It's about a member of the Golden Watch. You remember I was telling you one of our secret tales from our bardic lore.
Yes, they were. They were that band of great adventurers. Our homegrown heroes.
Indeed. Tarragon Flynn was one of them. He's a half-elf, but he's also an alchemist. He's very youthful and vibrant. If you were to meet any elves along your travels, you would understand the way he arrogantly lorded his youth over his friends. You should know that he is unusual in his alchemy, a man of frost and flame and acid. He's also done some experimentation with some of his allies, adding limbs and such. None of them ever consented to it, and he removed them in the end, but he was a man of scientific experimentation. Much like ourselves, he kept records of the past. And, you know, your bardic lore fades from your mind. What tale, song, or legend... Oh, no, I guess... Yeah, I didn't do that correctly. I was supposed to ask you what tale...
I preempted that when I said, I was thinking about my father's story.
All right, cool. Yeah, we weren't precisely following the rules there. He was famous for his chili cheese sandwiches.
Well, we just did it out of order, is all.
Yeah. Okay, so you learn a little bit more about Tarragon Flynn.
All right.
Hey, so I'm gonna look at the street and see if there's anybody around.
The only thing, as you step back out from poking your head through the door, the only thing to the north of this nice little estate is the servants' quarters.
Yeah, there's no passers-by,
Nope.
nothing.
This is a nice, private, secluded neighborhood.
Hey guys, how about we go in there and find out if that weirdo needs any help? Oh wait, well I'll say weirdo if you've told me that bardic story. Otherwise, I'll say that guy needs any help.
I would not have given you the specifics of what he did in terms of his experiments, but I would have told you he's an alchemist.
Oh, that's okay. If you told me everything, I'd have been like that weirdo.
No, it's well.
Yeah. Creepy alchemists. I love them. But
yes, if you feel that he is in danger up above, then we should.
Well,
we have made a deal with our hosts. We must honor our side of the deal.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to be somewhere. He ain't. The house looks empty, and there's a thump coming from the second floor. I think we have probable cause to go in there and see if he's okay.
I push the door open a little farther and say, after you. I insist.
Of course. I'll walk forward and sort of have my hand on the spear without drawing it and keep saying, Mr. Flynn, we're sent here by your friends. You okay?
Okay, so you're slowly walking inside?
Yeah.
The door kind of creaks as you enter. Creak. You get no answer.
Gonna look around, see if there's any. You said there was a lot of dust. Is it like nobody's been here in a while, or was it?
It sounds to me like you're attempting to discern realities.
I guess I am.
The GM said smugly, having the players make a move to make a move. Sure. Why don't you roll plus wisdom?
Sure. 13. Is that plus 1?
What? Yes, 13 is a plus 1. I was going to say, your roll is a 13? That doesn't sound right. But yeah, you got a 10.
Yep.
You get to ask 3 questions from the Discern Realities list. You take plus 1 forward if you act on any of the answers.
Okay.
Now, before you ask these, this this is where the game is going to venture deeply away from Pathfinder. Because with Dungeon World, the questions you can ask here are very revealing of the plotline and can greatly affect the outcome. So where there once might have been a linear adventure, it's now going to get a little shifted.
Nice.
I see.
Nice.
Interesting. So tell me, what page is the?
If you have, do you have the basic moves sheet open?
I don't-
Allow me to
No.
get a URL for you. This is what I've been using.
Okay, I just got the PDF here.
The full PDF open? Yeah, I don't know what page it's on, but with the character sheet moves,
Oh, that's
basic
much
moves on
easier.
the front end. Yep.
Okay. Basic moves. Wait. Why does it go basic moves twice?
Because of the way the page is faced.
The PDF, I think, is 2 pages ahead.
Yep.
We established, so it should be on page 68.
Discern realities. Oh, interesting. What here is not what it appears to be. What happened here recently, and what should I be on the lookout for?
Oh, fantastic. Such great questions.
Yeah.
Why don't you decide what order you want to ask those in? Because the answers might change what you're going to...
What happened here recently?
Based on some of the patterns you see in the dust and other telltale senses, as a fighter, you're used to protecting people. Maybe it's something in the air. You'll actually have to tell me. But something about this room and the situation tells you this guy's been kidnapped.
There's been a scuffle. I can see like furniture moved. Like,
I love the
there's,
idea
like,
that you're
marks.
like Sherlock Holmesing this.
Like,
You're like looking and there's
yeah.
like math symbols.
A rug is out of place. Dust is on where something was on a table. There's a line in the dust. Somebody's removed the broken vase to cover it up. There's a chip in the wall from where a sword hit. All sorts of little telltale signs. Like, there's been a fight here. But what here is not what it appears to be.
Even better. What here not appearing to be is Targan Flynn put up no fight. Most of the damage that's been inflicted was like staged. So you see two distinct fights, right? There's the they took this guy fight by basically just like grabbing him. And then there's the after they took him, they came back and made it really obvious that they took him.
That's strange. So what should I be on the lookout for?
There's something upstairs. So probably about this time, you and only you faintly hear that knocking coming again. It sounds like 2 fists pounding on a metal plate coming from the upstairs.
I speak up, guys. Something ain't right. My fighter sense is tingling.
And as you say that, we cut to black screen because it's time for a break.
Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun. All right, we'll be back in about 9 minutes here. Follow, like, subscribe. Leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube in the section below as to who's your favorite character so far, or what you think happened to Targan Flynn.
Ooh.